A subway driver finished an apple and casually tossed the core aside. When he bent down to pick it up, he suddenly noticed a cave-in ahead. River water was gushing into the tunnel. Panicking, he slammed on the emergency brake. Sparks burst from the wheels as the train screeched, but the enormous momentum sent the cars careening off the tracks like a runaway beast, smashing against the tunnel floor. Thousands of passengers had no time to react. The subway instantly turned into a scene of hell. A man, staring in despair as floodwater poured into the carriage, blacked out. When he came to, he was pinned under a pile of bodies. Struggling free, he spotted a torn piece of his daughter's clothing and frantically began searching the wrecked car. By now, more than half the passengers were dead. The few survivors scrambled to escape. In another car, the air had grown thin. A wealthy passenger kicked through a window, poked his head out, and saw tunnel lights still on, proof the tracks were still live with electricity. Realizing the danger of electrocution in the rising water, he climbed onto the roof to move forward, but the train suddenly lurched, throwing him off. Fearing a live current, he scrambled back inside. The frantic father finally found his daughter hiding under a seat, thankfully unhurt. Meanwhile, in the control room, operators noticed train 42 had stopped in the tunnel without moving. Repeated calls went unanswered. They also saw all 3 drainage pumps working at maximum capacity. Sensing disaster, Jerry urged shutting off the power. Jack disagreed. Without power, the train couldn't move at all. Trapped between bad options, they decided to gamble and radioed Train 17, which was preparing to depart, ordering it to retreat immediately. With thousands aboard Train 17, the power was cut off immediately as soon as the train passed the station. The driver spotted floodwater creeping onto the tracks and knew something was terribly wrong. He and his assistant ran to the opposite cab to reverse the train back to the station. Meanwhile, hundreds of panicked passengers in the tunnel were shoving, stumbling, and unaware of the deadly current approaching. Jack silently prayed the tunnel was empty. Otherwise, everyone would be electrocuted. Train 17 was only 100 meters from the platform when the power was finally cut, but too late. Electricity coursed through the flooded tunnel, killing scores instantly. Bodies floated to the surface as those who lagged behind managed to survive. The wealthy passenger, the desperate father, and the others who had stayed inside the train, how could they possibly escape now?